what drove you to start this series? Like, because I recall seeing people like Scott Keith like do things like this. Is this like a resume builder for you? And like what's the deal behind it?
Well, I got the blog Williams Watches Wrestling, and my plan was to kind of just do like different with it, like stuff I wasn't doing for F4W, stuff I wasn't doing for Voices. So I just had an idea of like, let's just do some other projects. Let's do watch some stuff that I want to watch that I haven't really had an excuse to do. And one of them was watch every WrestleMania because there like I realized I hadn't really watched any of like the first 10. I had watched like matches from the first 10, but I had never watched like the full shows. So, my thought was, well, hey, this is easy. Just watch all the WrestleManias. And I'm doing all that. I'm scheduling it out to where I finish in time for Mania in April. I'm gonna have to double up a couple weeks, but I think that's something I could pull off. So right now I'm at WrestleMania 2000. Well, WrestleMania 2000 is up, and next week is or well, Wednesday is WrestleMania 17, and I've watched that show several times through. I will happily watch it again, and it's a big little milestone on the journey here.
So, James, did you have a question? Well, you want to jump in?
Oh, I multiple questions. My first is like, what viewing or how quickly did you already regret this decision to watch every single WrestleMania one in chronological order? Which was it one already where you were like, why did I decide to do this and write to this? Why did I make this commitment? You let me know.
Well, one was fine because it's like 2 hours long. It's just an MSG show, so it's not like the tag title match is like it's decent, and I was surprised because it's Sheik and Volkov. It's Sheik and Volkov in the U.S. Express, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be something. And then they like actually went out there and worked. Like, so I was a little
Mm-hmm.
surprised there. So it was the Trump Plaza WrestleManias that like almost killed this thing dead. Four and
Four and
five.
five.
Yeah, 4 and 5. Yeah.
WrestleMania 4 is
Okay.
fucking terrible. It
That
is
tournament.
horrendous. Like
Oh, you
it's
weren't into Andre the Giant and Hogan in like the opening round of the shit, right? You weren't into that.
the second round
Oh,
because they got
second
to
round.
buy.
Okay. Okay.
That's actually the only match on the show that I liked because nobody, everybody in the building, they were only there to see Hulk Hogan, and those two went out there. It was like 7 minutes. They just fought and fought, and there was a bunch of stuff happening, and it's just like everything else on that show is so dead. Like they had a way to set up Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage in the second round, but no, let's
Nah.
put over Greg Valentine instead. Like,
What you
so,
mean, Greg Valentine all time great?
God, that guy sucked.
Clip
He's
that
like
for one man at
so.
keep this strong style.
So it's a running
Oh
gag between me
man.
and Josh Smith for keeping a strong style. And he tells me that like Greg Valentine is probably one of the best wrestlers of the era, and I'm like, bro, I believe you because you watch more of the shit than I do, and I generally hate '80s wrestling. But the stuff I've seen from Greg Valentine, either he was washed or he just stunk. So
Yeah, his
or was
W.
mid. So I don't know I don't know what to tell you, Josh. And then Josh, but the thing is, Josh. But the thing is funny is like Valentine is very polarizing. Either people think he stunk or he was one of the best guys in his prime of the era. And I'm just like every time I've seen something, I have not been impressed at all.
The WWF stuff was not good. I can't
At
speak to
all.
like his territory stuff with like Piper and stuff. I can't speak to that.
It seems like the
WWF
only thing that anyone ever
Valentine.
can speak to is that.
Ugh.
That's the problem.
I had a tweet that I
Yeah.
sent out earlier today. Greg Valentine in the rhythm and blues era is the same like person as Ricky Choshu. Like it's it's the same outline of a guy. Like they got the same hairstyle, they wear the same gear, same body type.
Oh
Like
my
it's the
god.
same guy essentially. But
There was this there was a segment Rhythm and Blues did with the Bushwhackers on a WrestleMania, and I was like, why wasn't this a match? And then I said that, and I was like, actually, you know what? This probably would be better if it wasn't a match. So good on them there.
who's the best wrestler of the first 16 WrestleManias?
Best wrestler of the first 16.
I mean, it's got to be Brett,
I
right?
mean, yeah, Brett's up there, man. I l- there's a lot of Hogan stuff I liked. Like I said it at WrestleMania 2, it's like this dude's like an all-time shithead, but he's like good at his job.
Bro, he fucking
Like,
rules in the 80s, bro.
dude, that cage match with Bundy, that match
rules
is
in
so
the 80s.
good.
Because
Yeah,
it's
because
like, bro,
Bundy can bump
everything he
around
does, they go
for him.
crazy for him.
Like, man, there was a lot of good Hogan stuff. Macho Man was great. Like, there, he has a Steamboat match. Macho
Yep.
Man's got a lot of
Macho
ups and
Man's
downs. He's got
got
the
an argument.
Steamboat match. He's got
Yeah, he does.
the George Steele match at 2. There's the mixed tag at WrestleMania 6
Six.
with Dusty Rhodes and Sapphire that I
Yeah.
went dud on. Like that match sucked. But then he comes back. He has that Flair match, which should have been the main event of WrestleMania 8.
The Warrior match.
Yeah, that match
The
is
Warrior
good as hell
match,
too.
fantastic. That Flair
Yep.
match is incredible. I forgot how great that match was.
And bro, he
Like, I
immediately
remembered
like
it
starts the
being
match and like
good.
throws that man out the ring. Is like, oh shit, that shit started hot.
Yes. Flair gets his juice. Like, oh man. But as far as like the first 16, I would go with Brett because he's got the Piper match.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the Brett match. He's got the Owen match, I mean, which is 5
Mm-hmm.
stars. That match is incredible.
Yep.
The Yoko
Got the
match at
Iron Man match.
9.
Got the Iron Man
The
match,
Yoko
and then
match at
also has a
9
match
is
with
as good as it's
Austin.
gonna be. Yep, he's got the Iron Man match, which is better than I remember it being. It's not as boring as I remembered it being. The Austin match is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal stuff. There was that Bob Backlund match that sucked, but
Yeah.
other than that,
It's
I made a
interesting when you
note
see a
that
guy
the
show.
Austin match.
Okay.
I made a note that the Austin match was redemption for the Bob Backlund match because they're both I quit.
Yeah. Like I thought it would be interesting, like as guys come along in the series and then they leave in the series. It was like, well, so like who was the most like kind of disappointing guy? Someone you're like, oh, this person was supposed to be great, but you just didn't see it.
Man, who would that be?
And like not somebody that just popped up once and left. And somebody just like
Yeah,
it kept
yeah.
showing up and like why? Like I don't get it.
It's not that I didn't get it, but Owen didn't have a lot of great Mania matches outside of the Brett one. Because
Yeah.
he had a blue blazer match with Perfect that was on 5. It was fine, but nobody cared. There was the Brett match, which was great.
Well,
All
the real
WrestleMania 11 sucks.
11.
well, you know what the real answer
Yeah.
should. You know what the real answer to this is. Like
What?
you know what the real answer is because of where he was with his career at that point in time in this gimmick.
Let me know.
The Undertaker.
The real answer is Undertaker. Undertaker had awful. Undertaker had shit. Look, that Giant Gonzalez match at 9 fucking sucked. Let's see.
Bundy.
The Bundy sucked.
Bundy.
That was 11, wasn't it?
That was
I actually
11.
thought him and
11
Jake was
sucked.
I thought him and Jake was decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Jake match was fine. The
But, like,
Snuka match.
14,
Not much.
14 versus Kane. I mean, outside
That
of
was
the
bad.
outside of the story that
The
people were really into,
hanging.
it is not good.
It was great, and then the bell rang. Boss Man match sucks.
Right.
Gotta say,
Yeah,
man,
Like, dude, that's the answer,
absolutely,
man.
like y'all. It's absolutely Undertaker. Like what Undertaker did. Basically, after I stopped watching wrestling, it's like unprecedented. Like I went away from wrestling for a decade because of the result of what happened at WrestleMania 2000. Right. Like, and then all of a sudden I come back, and like we're Undertaker's at worst my second favorite wrestler of all time. But it's like I was a kid, I wasn't watching wrestling for like the rewatchability of it or whatever else. Like you go back and rewatch those matches, like this is clearly a very good athlete for his height and weight that is being put in a box because of this gimmick, right? And then eventually he does the biker chain biker gang thing, and then he comes back as a gimmick before, but now he's actually like having contemporary wrestling matches, and then they're actually really fucking good. So it's like it totally changed everything. Like the first,
Him and Diesel was
I don't know
cool.
how many paper. Yeah, Diesel's cool.
That was a fine little match. It wasn't nothing great, and then
Yeah,
13
cool.
with
It's
Sid
fine.
was not good.
Yeah.
No,
And
no. But
yeah.
I mean, it's
So yeah, it was a.
How fast
yeah.
did you notice like the company changing, like out of the Hulkamania era and then like into like 92, 93? Like could you like kind of mark the points of difference like at the start of like given eras? And does it line up with how they like lionize the history?
The jump from 1 to 3 is like incredible, because 1 is just like a MSG house show. The production's all messy. It's just like, it feels kind of like thrown together and like they don't know what they're doing. 2 is
it's a
they
cluster
produce the
fuck.
hell out of 2, but like it's a lot of stuff. Half the show's not good. Like once you get to the Battle Royal in Chicago, then it's like decent after that. But the first half of that show
Nightmare.
sucks. Roddy Piper, I almost said Booker T. Roddy Piper, Mr. T was yeah, that was horrible. Roddy Piper, that's a name that needed to come up in the last conversation. Um,
Sticky
he
matches.
ruined that Bob Backlund match. He ruined that one. Like that wasn't great to begin with, but he just ruined that I Quit match. And then it's like he retired at 3, but
Kept coming
he
back.
only missed like 2 manias until he went to WCW. Like, he kept coming back.
Yep.
So, but yeah, and then you got the Hulkamania era. Things get to like the early 90s, and then it's like you don't really feel the loss of Hogan until 11, because WrestleMania 10 is like it's a good self-contained show. It's in MSG.
Yep.
You got the Brett story throughout. You got the
Mm-hmm.
ladder match in between. So it does feel like there's a shift there, but it's not like you're not missing like Hogan. You're not missing the top guy. I have a run from 11 to 14 where it's like, hey,
Yep.
is this your new hero? Here's Diesel. Do you like him? Here's
You know, like
Sean. Do you like him?
nah, the better one is
How
like
about
you said.
Undertaker?
Nah, I think it's funny because you like, you know, you're like, is it Diesel? Do you like him? Is like the answer is no. They had to go to Hartford, Connecticut. Like no,
No.
the answer's fucking no.
Hartford, Connecticut.
Hartford Civic Center. WrestleMania.
Like they had to go to Hartford
Yeah,
and they had to
man.
bring in fucking Lawrence Taylor for the semi event. No, absolutely not.
For the main event.
The main
For
event.
the main event.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's
Man.
right.
And that Diesel Shawn match, people say that match is good. That match is not good.
No, it is not good.
Diesel's not. Kevin Nash is not a very good wrestler. He's very not good at being a babyface. Like
He's very
there
lazy.
was just nothing there. Yeah, and then you feel that like kind of gap between having the top guy and not having the top guy until Austin's on top. And then WrestleMania 14. Oh, go ahead.
I would say, has anyone like rewatched You rewatched WrestleMania 12? I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
Forget like how good the Iron Man match was or was not. Right. I'm in the camp of thinking it's an awesome match, even for the hour. Right.
It is.
Now the hour plus the overtime. Now, regardless of whether or not that match should have won an hour or not, or sorry, regardless of what you think of that match. Did that match have to go an hour? Because if you look at that card, you'd be like, what else gonna get time? Wouldn't you rather give Sean and Brett an hour and change?
Dude, that
You're gonna give
that
it to Savio
Austin
Vega.
Savio Vega match, bro. I had to
You want to
go
give more?
dud on
You,
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
do you want to give more time for Roddy Piper and Dust or Gold Dust to do the backstage shit or the backlot
And
shit?
Gay Panic stuff, which they cut into Austin and Vega to make
Yeah,
even worse. It's like,
to make
hey, this
OJ
is an
Simpson
OJ
references.
joke. Great. Let's go back to this heatless match. It's like, oh my god. Yeah, they had to go an hour. What else were they gonna do? Like, were they gonna put the smoking guns on the show against the Body Donnas? They bumped that to the free for all. Like,
And you've been watching these
man,
free for alls and stuff too. Like what's like
some of them.
yeah.
So what I did was I did my best to find like the cuts of the show, to see like what got edited out and stuff, and just to, see that it's there. So I would get like some of the pre-shows, like WrestleMania 10. I got the free for all, which was Todd Pettengill and not Scotty the Body. What was Raven's
Johnny Flamingo.
manager gimmick? Johnny Polo. He was
Oh,
Johnny
Johnny
Polo.
Polo, sorry.
Yeah, and I got 30 seconds of Johnny Polo, and I'm like, I'm good on you forever. Like, go away. Like, you suck. Like, he. So I got like the pre-shows and the free-for-alls on some of these, and it got to a point for WrestleMania 2000. There's the WrestleMania all day gimmick that they had
Yeah.
on the pay-per-view, where it was like 8 hours beforehand, and I
Oh
found
fuck
all
no!
8 hours on Internet Archive,
Don't tell me you watched
and
that bullshit.
I thought about it. I really
Oh
did,
my
even
god, you
just for the
thought about
joke.
it.
Just for the joke, I like have it on in the back, but I was just like, nah, I'm gonna find the Heat instead because it's Sunday Night Heat. That Sunday Night Heat's not on the internet anywhere.
Hmm.
Like I found Sunday Night Heat for WrestleMania 15, but it's not the WrestleMania Heat for WrestleMania 2000 is just like it's not on Peacock. I can't find it on
Wow.
like any like website or anything. I can't find it on any like torrent site or anything. It's gone. It's in the vault.
I asked about like the change
And
in era stuff because like I think they're like cool like little things where it's like, oh, in 1992, Shawn, Brett, and Undertaker all won matches against like, you know,
yeah,
they had Brett go over on Piper and basically get him out of there. They had Undertaker
yeah,
essentially replace Jake the Snake Roberts, get him out of there.
Yep.
Shawn Michaels
Yep.
there you go.
fights, I believe, Rick Martel on that show, like gets him out of there. And it's just like I think things happen almost earlier than we realize sometimes. Like
Mhm.
like the way like because I maintain like that WWE used to be booked so well, like during those times, like where guys were get like there's none of this really, like in those
Yeah,
times.
Yeah, because they didn't because there wasn't an expectation that people were going to be around for 20 years now. Like there was an expectation that like
right.
you were going to be with us and we will rock with you until we realize we can't go any further with you, and then we will send you off to WCW, and then if something changes we will bring you back. But we always looking at someone new, and like you had an age date, like get it get Randy Savage the fuck out of here and get Hogan the fuck out of here. They just turned 40. Now 40 is when you get pushed in
Yeah.
WWE.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Um.
Brewhaven's been asking a couple questions
Yeah. What's
in the
talking about?
chat. Uh, I did not watch Clash of the Champions 1 to follow up WrestleMania 4. That would have been a good bit. I am glad you understood the opening of the WrestleMania 2000 review. I did the Conan O'Brien in the year 2000 bit. And I did not watch the Rage Party for WrestleMania 15, although that is on the internet. Internet
I don't even
Archive,
know
if
what
you
that
look
is.
that up, that's they did like it not like an access thing, it's like a concert thing where it's like a bunch of people at like like a rave or something, and then there's the wrestlers there, and they're cutting promos, and Isaac Hayes performed at it. He did the song he did on South Park.
So, chocolate salty balls.
Yes, Isaac Hayes performed at the WrestleMania Rage Party. I'm so glad I get to tell you this.
So like the last question I kind of had written down is like up next is like WrestleMania 17, and like I'd like you to come back when you get further along in the series. Like one time I had a hot take was like it took them 17 years until they actually figured out how to do a WrestleMania, like mixing the matches with the stadium with the pageantry. Like, do you think that would be accurate, or did they like because it just feels like there's gaps of uneven just trash like on a lot of different shows.
Absolutely.
They figured like three with the pageantry and everything feels like a great show. Like it's an easy show to watch. And then they're back in stadiums for 7 and 8. 8's good. 8's pretty good. But it's like then there's this long gap until like 14 where like the Manias are just like bottom tier. You get to 14 and it feels more like a WrestleMania, but like it's not a great show, but there's a great vibe. WrestleMania 14 is a vibe show. 15 is a Russo train wreck. 2000's a mess because they got too many people and they don't know how to like put the pieces together. 17 is where like everything comes together. They're in the big stadium. They've got all the stars in the right spots. Like all the pieces are put together right, and it is this incredible show. And I feel like there's going to be from 17 on a lot more good than bad. So I'm excited. This is I'll go ahead.
I would say like the funny thing for me is like if you look back at historically what WrestleMania 17 is like, it's unquestionably one of the greatest WWE shows of all time, and you know, on the short list of it, and like it gives you the kind of like what you think of as like the, you know, it gives you this definitive thing of like it's the end of the era when they do the thing with like Austin and Vince shaking hands, and then like the business goes down from there, because why the fuck would you ever do that?
Yeah, they were like, it's the end of an era. Wait, but not like that. Come back. Please come back.
Right.
Please don't leave.
I always maintain that the worst thing isn't that Vince and Austin like shook hands together at the end of the night, is that they like turned Austin heel again like 3 months later. Like that's like they gave you a mulligan. They gave you a chance to be like, all right, we can flip you back babyface and just keep it rolling.
You know what a low-key mistake was? His first feud after he turns heel is with The Undertaker. And those two suck together. Pause. Those two are not good opponents for each other. You would think after the 50 times they wrestled in 1998 that they would understand that.
They love
but no
guys that love each other or whatever. But it's like, nah, bro, we don't love it. Like that's the thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah,
say, that's true. The matches also drew like crazy. So that's probably another reason why they're like, look, bro, we going to house shows with this. We can make big money. We know both of us who can take care of each other, you know, all that kind of stuff. And you know that buy rate for SummerSlam '98 is a thing. That that viewership rating for that match they had back then was also a big deal. Like they realized they were money together and they were going to keep doing it. And you know, both from Texas, I'm sure they had some kinship of like, look, all these other people's fuck ups. We're not fuck ups. We're pros. We trust each other. You know, I'm not dealing with the clique. let's just keep doing. Let's just keep whatever we can. Let's keep, you know, run each other. It don't matter if it ain't got to be good. We don't give a shit.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. You know, Shawn Michaels hearing that conversation. We all from Texas. We ain't no fuck ups. He's like looking around like, hold on. Am I included
still
here?
taping his fists up.
Yeah. But yeah, man.
Man, I'm excited to hit this next stretch, man.
Absolutely, man.
Because this is like
when it gets good.
Yeah, this is where this is where like I start having personal memories of like not watching these shows at the time, obviously, but like
Mhm.
getting these shows. Like I bought the next couple WrestleManias. This is like 2015, by the way. I bought the next couple WrestleManias on VHS because we used to have a DVD VCR, like double
Mhm.
sided, and so I would use that to like get these shows for cheap and watch them. So like we're getting to a point now where I'm like I have like personal stories with these shows that I can share as part of the whole project. So I'm excited to get those involved too
That's
because
really
I
cool.
haven't done a lot of I haven't done a lot of wrestling that I have like a personal connection with because I've done one Dynamite review because I don't really feel like adding my thoughts on Dynamite. Everybody does that. I did it once because I had some stuff to say. But other than that, it's been a lot of stuff that that I'm watching either for the first time or stuff that I never really talked about before. I have a match request series deal where if you donate $5 to Kofi.com/Suit Williams, I will review any match you give me.
The only
I
good
actually
Ko-Fi
have a
writer there
match.
is.
Thank you. I actually have one in the bank that someone from VOW offered me. It is Kana versus Miko Satomura from
What
the
year?
upload dates. The upload date is 2017, but it's not from 2017. I think
Right.
it's from Shinjuku Face. It looks like it's from Kana's produce show. I haven't looked up
Okay.
what year it was because I don't want to get spoiled on who wins. But
Okay.
I
I've
do
seen them
have the
wrestle like
match
three.
like
I've seen them wrestle like three different times. They're all really good. Like there are two that are like
yeah,
stand out
yeah.
from the third one, but that I saw. But yeah.
Yeah, y'all keep giving me Puro and Yoshu to watch. And so it's like, all right, I'm gonna watch it. Y'all paying for it. I watched Akira Hokuto versus Shinobu Kandori from All Star
Woo!
Dream Slam.
That's a match right there.
I reviewed that match. I said it was two women mauling each other like bears. Like
Yes.
that was
Bunch of
wild.
bells in there, like.
Yeah. Hey, Rich. You know, look, AJ. Look, that's the AJW that does hold the fuck up. All right, that ain't no Dump Masamoto. That's an all time fucking match. Oh my god. Like I am a person that's like when it comes to Hokuto, I am in the 90s AJW. Like I am Nami Toyota, Aja Kong, then um
Hokuto.
Hokuto, and I don't really like the Hokuto and Manami Toyota match, the one that people rave about. I think it's great. I don't think it's an all time match. I think whatever. I just explained what I think, but like that one, undeniable. Like I think that's my second favorite Hokuto match. Like my favorite match is her match in Gaia when she's basically cooked athletically versus Meiko Satomura. That match is incredible. Like
You,
that's a fucking Rocky fight.
you brought up Aja Kong. All we needed to do was hold on for like 3 more months to get her on WrestleMania 12, and we could have got Aja Kong on WrestleMania 12 against Medusa.
Man. He ain't backfist that one woman too hard,
Yeah.
and Vince didn't get scared.
But
Other stuff I reviewed, I watched Chigusa Nagayo versus Leilani Kai from All Japan Women's. I've watched Hijo del Santo versus Negro Casas, Mask versus Hair. And then I had two great Sasuke matches, both in the same tournament. It was the Fukuman World League, Sasuke versus Super Delphin, and Sasuke versus Dos Caras
How's the match
from
versus
that. And then I got
Super Dolphin?
Match versus Super Delphin's really good. It's the continue. It was either the continuation of it correctly. I'm writing it down. Nope, don't play it. Those Daily Motion videos, they like to play automatically, and that is annoying. But yeah, the match was really good. I went 4 on it because
Okay.
it still stood up. It was a big feud that they had since like 1993. It was the first match they had since 1993 where they had a big feud, and
Okay.
yeah, it was really good. And then that Dos Caras match is good too, like because the finish of that match. it ramps up like it just ramps up out of nowhere because these two are having their match and it's fine. And then all of a sudden, Dos Caras power bombs apron to the floor, and it's like Jesus Christ, this escalated quickly. And then that's just the finish. Like he rolls him back in the ring, does another move, and wins. And it's like, fuck, all right, that was awesome. But yeah, I got another one coming up. Kana versus Miko Satomura. I will watch that at some point this week. I got to get WrestleMania 17 watched. I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. And then yeah, the train keeps on rolling. I wait, is Survivor Series this weekend?
It is.
It is. Yep.
I got to do a preview. All right, so I got to watch that stuff for VOW. But yeah,
Got him.
these WWE shows just sneak up on me, man.
Just look up and
Like I remember
shit, there's a pay-per-view.
I remember NXT had the Halloween Havoc last month. That popped up on me. I looked at that card and I was like, fuck this. I am not watching the show. I full on I went in the VOW Slack room and I said, Rich, there's no NXT this month. I'm not watching Halloween Havoc. Y'all want to give me Ethan Page and Trick Williams again in y'all want to give me Ethan Page again. I think I blew off the other one too, the one with Joe Hendry in the main event. I'm like, no,
Man,
I'm not doing this.
Certain kind of wrestler profile you seem to be avoiding, Suit.
Yeah, born white dudes. Yeah. And I feel crazy when I talk about Ethan Page because there was like I was one of the 12 people watching ROH last year when he was on it, and he felt like he was turning a corner because he had like turned babyface. He wasn't doing this all ego shtick no more. He was just being like just a hardworking babyface. And and he was having good matches. He had that match at Final Battle last year against Tony Nese. The I Quit match was like shockingly good, like 4-star good. And it was like, has Ethan Page figured it out? And then it's like, nope, he went to NXT and he's doing the same stuff and he sucks again. So fantastic. The
Well,
men's division in NXT sucks. Why
Fire
aren't
the
they
men.
pushing Javon Evans? That guy rocks, Javon Evans.
well,
All right.
I have some thoughts on how NXT is structured and why so many women are there, but they're not for this show. So, but Suit, I want to thank you for joining us, and make sure y'all read Williams Watches WrestleMania. Is it suitwilliams.com?
Yes, suitwilliams.com. Bought the domain.
Yes, sir. Man, you should throw some audio behind those too, and get them up on YouTube as well, or something. But yeah, man.
Hey, I'll think about it. It's something I got.
Yeah.
It's in the back pocket. I got a lot of ideas.
Happy birthday coming soon to James. In 3 days, it is his birthday, so make sure y'all show James some love and all that. So
Happy birthday, James. Happy early birthday.
Thanks. Appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate it. My birthday's the day after Thanksgiving. It's on Black Friday, so there's really not much for me to do, right? But I appreciate it. It's still the same.